Hello and welcome to the PD in Your Pocket session on inclusion. My name's Leanne Limebeer and I am an Inclusion Hub Manager with the New South Wales ACT Inclusion Agency. I'm coming today from on Darawal country and I'm really pleased to be speaking with Sree today, a family daycare educator, about her inclusion journey. Sree, would you like to just introduce yourself and give us a little bit of outline of your family daycare service?
Hi Leanne and everyone, and namaste. This is Sreevidya here, and everyone with love calls me Sree. And I am here on the Darug land here in Sydney. I have been an IT HR professional and then moved to my early childhood profession in 2013 and worked with different long daycare and preschool settings. I've been a family daycare educator under Twinkle Family Daycare Private Limited for the past 8 years here in Sydney.
Thank you, Sree, for introducing yourself and your service. And again, thanks for your time today. Let's just start by talking about your inclusion journey and what prompted you to start reflecting on inclusion within your service. Was there a specific point in time that you thought you needed to think more about inclusion?
Initially, when I started as a family daycare educator, I had my younger child with me, and then the other two children who enrolled with me were from the similar cultural background, and they used to speak the same language which I speak, and it was easy for me to program their activities or any group activities or any cultural events in the center. And then as and when the new enrollment started every year, and then the dynamics of my service kept changing, and the children with the different abilities, with different interests and strengths started coming together. So I started including their interests, their abilities, and their different languages, their cultural backgrounds in my program. I had an opportunity to even include children who were going through some delays. So we need to, according to their needs, according to their strengths and abilities, we need to change the program or my environment, or I need to start including some inclusive resources into my program. That what prompted me critically to reflect on my caregiving strategies, whether my resources are inclusive, whether all the family and children are included in my program or not. And from then, I think my inclusion journey started.
That's fantastic. So can you tell me what supports that you accessed to help you on that inclusion journey?
Yes, definitely. As a family daycare educator, I always think that I need to be a proactive learner and a seeker, and to seek support and access any available resources to include in my program. I started collaborating in each and every step with the families, my own family and the other families of the children who were in my care, and families with the additional needs in the care. Of course, the support of the coordination unit is also very important. And as the saying goes, it takes a whole community to raise a child. I strongly believe that. So I started collaborating with different community resources, my local council, local community networking places, and the inclusion support program.
So it sounds like you access quite a few supports to help you on your journey. Can you tell us a little bit more about a couple of those? So how did accessing support from the New South Wales ACT Inclusion Agency, how did that help you in your journey?
Our service was collaborating with the New South Wales Inclusion Journey, and we were working on various initiatives and projects to enhance inclusion in our entire service. So this inclusion support program, it is not actually to fix a child. It actually aims on building the capacity and the capability of the educators to address any barriers of the children to participate, and through implementing the quality inclusive practices. So whenever I came across any children with the needs, or if I need to include any different environment, different resources, I approach the New South Wales ACT inclusion professional, and me, myself, and the inclusion support professional and the nominated supervisor from my service, we would all sit together and then create a strategic inclusion plan addressing not only the child with the needs, but all the children, and considering the well-being of all the children in my service.
That's great. It's a great support that we've got available. And how about those community resources? How did they help you on your inclusion journey?
I definitely, most of the community resources I would be accessing are something like the local council and local council and local networking groups, any other professional support groups for the parents, and even for the parents whose children are not facing any additional needs, but for them to know how to include, how to show empathy to the parents who are accessing the same service. And then some of the community resources like the webinars and mental health professional network, and there are quite a lot of networking groups for specific needs, and the families who can attend those webinars to get a clear detailed information.
Fantastic. So you're able to access them, find information for yourself, and also be able to pass that on to families as well.
To the families as well, yes.
Fantastic. So what changes have you made to how you think about inclusion?
The first and the foremost thing was the changes in my thought process. When I started embracing the journey towards inclusion, it has been a transformative experience for me. And there was complete shift in my perspective and my thinking and the thought process. So before my inclusion journey, I used to think that I may not be capable to practice inclusion. But when I started my journey, it made me resilient, and it made me more creative and sustainable as well.
That's fantastic. And you mentioned making changes to your environment. So what sorts of changes did you make to your environment and your program after thinking about inclusion and wanting to be more inclusive of all children within your service?
The first thing I would say is, to be inclusive, we need to be flexible in everything, like a flexible approach in everything. When I started the family daycare, at that time, the environment, whatever I had set up, is completely different from now. Once I started my inclusion journey, it's totally different. So the layout of my care area, the outdoor space, the outdoor environment, or the equipment, everything has been changed. I slowly added some inclusion resources, inclusive equipment, and tailored the area according to the children's needs. To give an example, like not all the children would like to play in the outdoor area for a bit of time. Like some children want to play for some time and they want to come back, and the rest of the children, they still want to be outside. To include all the children in the outdoor area, I started adding some relaxing furniture, so that because the children who are tired, they don't have to come inside and take rest on the inside couch. So I added a relaxing furniture there, and they would be having their snack or a little bit of water, and there is a readily available, accessible library next to them, a bookshelf they can have a read through, while the rest of the children are in the sandpit and playing, and which is all around my supervision area, wherever I can supervise. Started adding inclusive resources and materials. Like children from the different backgrounds, I started adding their home language charts, where how the charts for the alphabets we have in English, and then I started putting them on my walls, wherein children can see their language every day on the walls, and we started practicing, and it was a good opportunity for me to learn different languages as well.
So just making a few little changes to how you did things, what you provided, has really helped you to make sure that all children are able to participate and be included in your program. So can you give us an idea, Sree, on 3 things that you now do in your everyday practice that all family daycare educators would be able to do in their practice to be able to be more inclusive?
The 3 things I would say is be inclusive, and be inclusive. So being an inclusive educator, it makes you think out of the box. It gives you a wide range of opportunities. It makes makes you more creative, and we start thinking beyond our boundaries. There is no boundaries. Like having inclusive group activities. Initially, when we used to have a group activity, if any child doesn't want to participate, I used to have some alternative activity for the child, and then the child was participating in that activity, and the rest of the children who were interested used to participate in this group activity. So I started reflecting on that, and then I said, why can't all the children do the same activity with the modifications? Like, let's use inclusive materials.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Sree, for your time today. And it sounds like you've been on a great journey towards inclusion, and you're doing some really good work around inclusion with your children and families.
I would really say all the amazing educators out there to definitely reflect on their inclusive practices. And so, yes, it really makes a difference, and we would all really feel proud and satisfied in our profession when we think that we are making a difference in a child's life.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much, Sree.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Thanks for the opportunity.